Welcome in the ring. Share the like, smash that emoji button. A good evening to each and every one of you, wherever you're joining us from. Share the like, folks, and smash that emoji button. We trust that you guys are good. We trust that you're great. We trust that you're well, wherever you're joining us from. Pace and power, power and pace. Good to have all of you folks on with us this evening, on with us tonight. Welcome in the ring, good folks. Welcome, 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 welcome. Happy Monday, folks. It's Monday, the 13th day of May. Believe it or not, it's not waiting for you. It's not waiting for me. It's just got some legs and hopping and running and skipping about, folks. That's what May is doing to us. We're almost at the middle of it. So let's get right to it, folks. We're happy, delighted that we could be here with you, folks. Another evening, slippers on the ground, folks. You all know how we do it. Slippers on the ground. Claridex Charming, Richmond, good to see you there. Norma Jones, good to see you as well. Charles Nelson, we see you there. Charles, we see you there. And all the other beautiful folks who are joining us this evening. Share the live, folks. Smash that emoji button for us. Carol Hudson, we see you there. Anita Atkins, we see you as well. Debbie Morgan, Camille Cox, we see you too, Camille, and Anita, Michaela Andrew Coates, we see each and every one of you, and we're happy and we are delighted and happy that you folks could be on with us tonight. Yet another evening. Angeli Abrams, we see you as well, Angeli, and all the other folks who are joining us. Pace and power, power and pace. We trust you guys have had a good day, Tessa. Tessa, how are you doing, Tessa? Lyndon Gill, how are you folks doing? Well, you know, we've been covering quite a few things, folks, from the conciliation talks between the Ministry of Education and the Guyana Teachers Union to what's been happening with the accident out of Linden, those folks out of Kokwani that lost their lives so tragically today at Long Creek. We've been following some of that as well, and we trust that you folks are good. We trust that you folks are well from the many places that you are joining us from this evening. Welcome in the ring. Welcome, 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 welcome. Good evening to each and every one of you. Guys, how are you doing tonight? Share the live for us. Smash that emoji button as well. Share the live. Smash it up for us, good folks. Do that for us. Let's get a move on. We're following quite a number of things. How are you guys doing? Quite a number of things we're following. Quite a number. We got a long way to go, folks. Share that live for us. You know, we coming out of bed for nothing more than 3,000 live viewers when the night come. Please and thank you. Nothing less will do. Ring the bell for all the folks who are now joining us. Welcome in the ring, good folks. Welcome, welcome. We trust that you guys are great. We trust that you guys are well. The opener, folks. The opener as we begin tonight. The opener. Conciliation stalemate. Government wants to start the negotiation of 2024. Yep, that's where they want to start. The teachers want to start in 2019. That's where there's a stalemate. They met for hours today, folks. They met for hours. Yeah. Government don't seem as though they're really serious, you know. Government does not seem to be really serious on this matter. But we're watching them, folks. We're watching them. Here's some of what happened today. That's the opener, folks, on these conciliation talks. The conciliation talks, bring you guys up to speed right off the bat. Take a look and take a listen.
The Guyana Teachers Union met with the Labor Ministry today. Present was Chief Education Officer Saddam Hussein.
Very optimistic.
You're optimistic.
Very,
Why so?
very optimistic.
Why so?
Chief Labor Officer did a good job.
Did a good job.
Did a good job. And what? Careful. I think there will be a comment made a little bit later on this afternoon.
That was during a temporary halt in the meeting. GTU President Mark Light was also at the meeting.
As you know, we've been in there for the last 4 hours and hammering out several things. As you know, today we were called by the Chief Labor Officer to address the issue of the years. And we generally were trying to get both sides to things. So there are steps taken to have a conciliation process begin. So we have drafted some conditions for resumption of work, which will pave the way for the conciliation process to actually kick in.
He said that the union is engaging local minds to solicit opinions.
So once the clearance is given by our legal luminaries, we will return here at 3 o'clock to address the document.
The stumbling block involves the years of negotiation. The GTU is seeking to have the negotiations include the years from 2019. The ministry wants the negotiations to begin from 2024. General Secretary Coretta MacDonald also commented on the duration of the first session.
We were thinking that if we were serious, and I'm saying we here loosely, if we were serious about getting this business over with, having the interest of our learners, the interest of teachers, and the interest of this country at heart, we would have been able to work through what took us this long, and we've not even gone through it. We would have been able to go through that. As partners in any organization, we expect that one, there's going to be trust. And of course, that has been out of the door. We expect trust. We expect to have respect. And we expect that when we come to the table, either party or both parties can bend, lean forward, lean backward, give, take, so we arrive at a position.
He said that to date, there has been no movement toward an agreement.
We have looked at some conditions that we're going to put into a document of which will signify the terms of resumption. And we're hoping that our partners, having been given the opportunity to return to their principles, to confirm with them that when they return at 3, we're going to be signing off on that document.
The Ghana
Yeah. Folks, there was no signing off on any documents because the PPP can't make up the mind. That's the short of it. They cannot make up the mind, so there was no signing off of any documents. I know some of you all going to be saying, told you so, and we got an update to that on the other side of some of the things we're covering internationally. Arlene Daniels, we see you there. Arlene Daniels, we see you. Joylyn Cook, Siobhan McDonald, Mark, Debbie Collins, McGarrell, Suvelle, Brenda Moore, Eva Mattis. We see you folks on the other side of the screen. Marcy Agar, Joylyn, Erwin Dawn. How are you guys doing this evening? Good to see each and every one of you there. Folks, share the live for us. Smash. You got to smash it, folks, so the others can get their valid and credible information as well. Oh, we trust you guys are good. We trust you guys are well. Here's some what we're covering, folks. Here is what's troubling us internationally. The Cubans are coming. The Cubans are coming. Did you know that, folks? It's 12 Cubans to be assigned to the Gaisuco, the Gaisuco Corporation. They're coming. Never dull moment. Never dull moment. Careful, you careful. The PP has already run it into the ground. Has already run Gaisuco in. You all know that. Run Gaisuco into the ground. 12 Cubans are coming. Let's see if the Cubans have some resurrection power. I don't think they tell the Cubans how bad they've done with the show cooperation, I do not believe the Cubans have they marched it in to the ground, wrecked the whole thing up. You gotta bring more than 12 Cubans to bring that back. Gotta bring more than 12. Look, some of the other things we're covering internationally, folks. The Cubans are coming. The Cubans are coming. Yep. Trump, the gift that keeps on giving. So we all know you all like Trump secretly. So we all know you like Trump secretly. Yeah, hush money. Hush money. Remember former lawyer to Trump, Michael Cohen? Well, he testified today that Trump personally approved the hush money to Stormy Daniels. Trump is, oh my Lord, it's too much. In politics, it can be like just enough, but don't be too much. Right? He'll Trump himself. He'll Trump himself. Too much. Cohen said he approved the money himself. A couple of things we're following internationally. And look what's happening in Russia. Out of the blues. Out in the blues. Put him make a switcheroo. A 1-2 punch. Changed up his Directorate of the Armed Forces there. Folks said he's put in a, what do you call it? He's now put in a economist to head up the armed forces there. Appoints a civilian economist as defense minister. A very important role. Economist, 65 years old. Belousov, Andrei Belousov, that's the name. 65 years old. Who says no country for men? Not in Putin's Russia. Not in Putin's Russia. They said this move is seen as a strategy to better utilize Russia's defense budget and to harness innovation for the war in the Ukraine. That sounds like some chemical stuff to me. Don't know about you, but that sounds like some chemical stuff to me. Look what else we're following. Wish them the best. They leaked papers. Right. I think we should start with what has not been leaked from CXC. CXC, man. This was unheard of in my time. Oh, yes, I wrote CXC too. Wasn't that long ago. Everything leaking at CXC. Accounts paper leak, maths paper leak. CXC get like the PVP. The leaky. You all know PVP leaky. They getting like that. Leaky. This Barbados-based Caribbean Examination Council says it's investigating into the circumstances surrounding an issue which occurred with the distribution of the CSEC Principle of Accounts Paper 2 at specific centers. They leaky on this. Leaky like that. I fed up with CXC, man. Every 2 days something leaked. Asha, Yvette, Volme, Patricia, Penelope, Rastaman. Every 2 days something. Fed up with them now, man. Please. Penelope. Say it isn't so. CXC says it understands that any uncertainty around exams can cause anxiety. They say they wish to assure candidates and parents that these matters are treated with the highest urgency. Yeah. Should not have happened in the first place if CXC had proper protocols in place. You realize this every examination cycle. We're in this thing here with CXC. This leak, that leak. They're saying the faucet. Everything leaking. Come on, CXC. Pull it together for us. Please and thank you. Joy Dodson, come on, CXC. Leon Logan, pull it together for us. Marlon Thomas, leaky. Getting quite like the PPP. Quack like the PPP. Stop this foolishness now. And then finally, in regional things we're following, cover things we're following regionally here now. They said they earmarked 1 or 2 vessels for this inter-Caribbean ferry service. I think they should go slow and steady as against fast and fragile. I don't know who they're trying to impress by trying to bring this ferry service in a fortnight. But they're saying that some vessels are joining the fleet, if you want to call it that. Some vessels from Dubai. Yeah. And boys went far looking for boats. They're telling us that this partnership is going to allow the companies involved connect Carib Partnership with another organization called Jampor Group. Is going to allow them to advance this venture faster than initially planned, potentially launching this interregional cargo service as early as August. Well, I wish them the best with that. I see Liat come and Liat gone. Carry come and carry gone. They want to do this very service quick. Folks, I know slow and steady, fast and fragile. Slow and steady, fast and fragile. And the only ones who come in the 592. We know the whole thing. Folks, we know the whole thing. without exceptions. Without without the whole thing, folks, the whole thing. Not some, the whole of it. That's what tell her. Without the whole thing, no. It's not a country. It's animal farm. Country. This side. Rocker come in, folks. Share that live for us. Smash that emoji button for us, good folk. Y'all know once we come into the 592, where it's at, you got a good sense of where we're going. We started out by talking about these conciliation talks that happened at the Ministry of Labor today, involving the Ministry of Labor, the Ghana Teachers Union, and the Ministry of Education. That's how it started. And folks, while that was happening on the inside, look at what was happening on the outside.
He wasn't president, he know what we should get. But now he turned the president, it seems like he forget. When Ali wasn't president, he know what we should get. But now he turned the president, it seems like he forget. When Ali wasn't president, he know what we should get. But now he turned the president, it seems like he forget. When Ali wasn't president, he know what we should get. Now he turned the president. You know what we should get. And now we got it seems like he forget. When Ali wasn't president, he know what we forget. But now he acting president, it seems like he forget. Slippers on the ground, and we ain't backing down. Slippers on the ground, and we ain't backing down. Slippers on the ground, we ain't backing down. Slippers on the ground, and we ain't backing down. Oh, slippers on the ground, and we ain't backing down. Slippers on the ground, and we ain't backing down. Slippers on the ground, and we ain't backing down. Slippers on the ground, and we ain't backing down. Slippers on the ground, and we ain't backing down. We don't want no petty cash from the oil stash. I'm hearing the country. We don't want no petty cash from the oil stash. We don't want no petty cash from the oil stash. We don't want no petty cash from the oil stash. We don't want no petty cash from the oil stash. We don't want no petty cash from the oil stash. We don't want no petty cash from the oil stash. We don't want no petty cash from the oil stash. We don't want no petty cash from the oil stash. We don't want no petty cash from the oil stash. We don't want no petty cash from the oil stash. We don't want no petty cash from the oil stash. We don't want no petty cash from the oil stash.
All right, that's just some of the folks we saw in the early hours this morning as that strike was getting on the way. We told you as we began the program, folks, in the opener, what transpired by the middle of the day when the union and the GTU, when the GTU and the Ministry of Education and also the Labor Union took that break so that the Ministry of Education could talk to their superiors. And when they came back, folks, they had a couple hours more at it, trying to hammer out an agreement. That didn't happen. They still stuck at what years they should be considering. What years the government want 2024 and onward. The union seem to want from 2019 and onward, folks. And as those meetings for the day concluded, we caught up, folks, with the president of the Ghana Teachers Union, Mr. Mark Light. And then we caught up also with the General Secretary of the Ghana Teachers Union. Take a listen to what the President of the Union, the Ghana Teachers Union, told us, Dr. Mark Light. Take a listen, folks.
So as you know, we returned this afternoon based on the list of items we had on the document for resumption, and the ministry returned with some new considerations, and the union put forward some new considerations. So as I speak now, we have left the room with an understanding that we will return tomorrow to relook at the document with a few options to see whether we can have an agreement on the way forward. So nothing has been signed off because there is still at least one area to be fleshed out for the resumption to take place.
What is the one area?
Well, the one area has to do with the proposal, and the union is insisting that it must be clearly stated the period, right? And you know that the ministry has a position on which year they want to go forward. The union has a position. So there are a couple of other options that we have taken with regards to how the resumption should go. And there's one that is outstanding as to the consideration for the period. So we have not had an agreement on it.
But this consideration for this agreement before it's signed, are we looking from 2020?
Well, as you know, the process today with the meeting with its chief labor officer had to do with what the ministry considered to be a deadlock between the two sides as to the years for consideration. And we left the meeting not having a full agreement on that particular issue.
The other things that you said that the ministry brought to the table at the resumption of this meeting, did they expand on those things that were already on the table?
I think it's just a matter of rephrasing one of the main points that we wanted to see addressed. And if you rephrase something, you know, you have to be careful how it's documented and what it should read like before you agree. So as a union, we want to be responsible. We want to ensure that there is enough consultation so that whatever we decide to agree on with the ministry, that it won't be injurious to our members.
And those things that you brought, that you have added, did they?
Yeah, those were considered. So we have a few options, two options that we can choose from, and both parties will return tomorrow, hopefully far advanced, ready to sign on.
The second point has been 2024. Have they loosened up on that?
Well,
in your estimation?
Well, I think the ministry is still having a similar mandate that they announced, and the union has its mandate that we have given commitment to our members. So that is where we are at the crossroad.
All in all, a synopsis of the day.
It was a long day, and you know, as usual, these are not easy negotiations process. It's always hard when you come expecting that you're gonna have some closure on some of these matters, and you know, you have to be prolonged. It has to be prolonged. So I think that we can say that maybe it's a 40% advancement because the main issue still remains outstanding.
Are you optimistic that tomorrow will bring a closure to this?
I've always tried to be optimistic, but given the way things are, there's some level of skepticism that, you know, tomorrow we might be back at the same place. But let's see what will happen.
What would you say to teachers at this time?
I'll say to our teachers that we have to continue. The strike continues. The union hasn't made an announcement about the strike being called off. And until all the conditions are met, we will continue to be on strike. Our teachers, I want to say to them to return tomorrow to the protest action. Tomorrow we wear yellow, so we look forward to see more teachers joining us.
Mr. Light, just some of the things that have been areas of contention in the past. The minutes, were they signed off to by the union and the ministry? For one, who was leading the negotiations for the Ministry of Education? Was that clear?
Yeah, the PS. By right, the PS was leading our team. There was no minutes signed off because we were looking at a document to be signed. So there's no minutes that was signed after. But hopefully tomorrow we'll get the minutes of the meeting signed. Having be read, and then we'll have a signed minutes of the meeting. So yeah, that's some of what we heard today, folks, after the second phase of that conciliation talks.
came to an end at the close of days. The president of the Ghana Teachers Union, they're going to be meeting tomorrow again, but we also call up with the General Secretary of the Ghana Teachers Union, the one and only Coretta MacDonald, Member of Parliament, John Rebel. We called with her as well for her own assessment of how the day went there, those conciliation talks. Mind you, the very PS of the Ministry of Education, who led those talks, she was at the Congress over the weekend for the PPP. She was at the Congress. Sabbath News wrote a whole editorial about her today. That was your homework from this morning. Take a listen to what the General Secretary of the Ghana Teachers Union, Coretta MacDonald, told us. Take a look. Take a listen.
Well, in my mind, we have actually wasted three-quarters of the day. There are simple issues that, again, if persons were serious about having this issue resolved, then we could have agreed on them. The fact here remains with regards to GTU that we are still skeptical about having a willy-nilly document put forward or signed on to. It's just simply because of the fact that we did that at the level of the High Court, where the judge, in his wisdom, wanted to bring an end to this whole issue, and he sought the services of two senior counsels. Those senior counsels that he sought the services of, they came, a document was done. We returned to the ministry's boardroom. We sat there. We prioritized the document that we were going to look at, which was the 2019-2023 document. Lo and behold, you know what happened 2 days after, 3 days after. We had a new chief negotiator. The entire process was turned upside down. And so today, again, we are here, and all that is happening is that persons are just battling with words, just battling with words. And in my mind, it's a way of just saying, well, we met, or we made an attempt to meet, and this is our way of delaying the process. But you know, in all of this, our learners are at stake. Their entire future, it's not one generation, it's not two, it's 3 and 4 generations. Teachers, their livelihood is at stake. Outside of the teachers, we've got the canteen operators who depend on schools for a daily living. We have the minibus operators, the boat operators. Everyone is affected with this situation that is happening. And I don't think the Ministry of Education, and by extension the government, is serious about resolving this issue. The GTU has gone way beyond. We bent forward. We bent forward. We even opted to them in bending forward. We said to them, look, we are prepared to condense, if I can say that, our proposal. We are prepared to take off years from our proposal, but the government is bent on looking at 2024 and onwards, and not prepared to even look at 2 years or 3 years in the 2019-2023 document.
Wow. Wow. I know you did quite a bit of traveling before this meeting. I think you've been going around getting a sense of the mind of the teachers nationwide. What do you sense, how our teachers feel about these different issues and post GTU case in the High Court?
Well, you know, every time teachers are hearing from the ministry, it just the pronouncements of the ministry, the memos sent out by the ministry, the Facebook posts put out there by the ministry, all that it is doing is antagonizing teachers. Teachers are now even more resolved in their fight against the Ministry of Education. And the teachers are saying, we are not valued. Nobody sees us as being anybody important. This sector is not important. And why do we have to go out there to give when nobody recognizes us? When there's nobody who care about us. And these are the sentiments we get from our teachers all across this country. Last week, Thursday and Friday, we saw our teachers from Kako protesting. Today, we saw our teachers from Mbamadai protesting with their placards. We saw our teachers on the Essequibo Coast. We saw our teachers on the quarantine, West Coast Berbice in Region 3. And so this is saying to us that teachers are tired of the fatigue that the Ministry of Education is being meted out to them. Teachers are tired of being treated like doormats. And the teachers want to have a resolution to this matter, but they're not prepared to lie on the floor to have this matter resolved. They are prepared to sit with the Ministry of Education through their representative, which is the executive of the GTU, to iron out this matter. So at the end of it all, mind you, GTU is not saying that we want to be the winners in this whole issue when it has been resolved. We are saying that we are prepared to sit, iron out these issues, and at the end of the day, we are going to have winners on both sides. That's what we are prepared to have. But the ministry doesn't want that. As a matter of fact, let me say to you, just recently when we called our teachers off, that was good for the Ministry of Education. You know why? Because they had the grade 6 examinations completed. They had the CSEC grades for SBAs submitted, and so they were happy about that. Now they want to tell us that we have to pull our teachers off. There must be no strike. The status quo must be normal. But they're not prepared to say to us, coming from their side, that they want to sit to talk about, let's look at the 2019, 2020, 2023 proposal that was submitted. Mind you, this proposal was not submitted yesterday. It was submitted since 2020, when the new government came into being. And if they were serious about addressing teachers' issues, it would have been done. Let's say, okay, 2020 we had COVID, we had 2021, we had 2022, we had 2023. I think one of the other factors that is really, really antagonizing teachers is the fact that we heard from the Minister of Labor, who himself took a position, and he is saying that the government is prepared to look at 2024 and onwards. Now, this is the Minister of Labor taking that position. I mean, how can we trust the process if this minister, who is supposed to be the mediator, has already taken a position? We can't trust the process. And for that reason, GTU is ensuring that we put the T's where they're supposed to be and the I's, we dot them where they're supposed to be. And the Ministry of Education, they're having grave difficulty accepting us saying we must be straight on the table with the document that we're putting forward. The document must spell everything out. I mean, we're not going to go into full detail, but the major issues must be spelled out in that document.
Madam General Secretary, finally, your presence in the union in these protests has always been seen as political. I think they characterize even this new iteration of the protest as political. What were your thoughts, or the thoughts of the union perhaps, seeing the permanent secretary of the ministry at the Congress of the PPP over the weekend? Not only the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Education, permanent secretary, I know Bishop Coopin, I think permanent secretary of the Ministry of Labor was there as well, and at least one other permanent secretary, May Toussaint, we saw as well there too. What are your thoughts?
Well, we shouldn't expect anything better coming from the PPP. As a matter of fact, we have said it today in the meeting that if we are to be consistent, then we're not going to have issues. But what we've seen coming out here today is that the Ministry of Education, and by extension Labor, they've not been consistent with what they're doing. They choose what is convenient to them. And let me roll you way back to 2018. In 2018, when we took industrial action, the strike then, according to Barrett Jagdeo, who was the opposition leader, it was legal. The teachers had a right to strike. The teachers had real issues. And he was cautioning the president. As a matter of fact, he was scolding the president then, Mr. Granger, to talk to the teachers, negotiate with them, attend to their issues, cut on your travel, cut on this, cut on that. But here he is now as vice president, and he's saying a totally different story. The tune is a different one. Let me bring you further. We have my colleague, Sipol Narayan, president of GAU, also a member of parliament. But you don't hear these cries coming from them when GAU strike. You don't hear these cries that GAU strike is political. You don't hear that. But every time the teachers have to do something, it's political. When the GPSU issue their
Mr. President, please
warnings,
hold a second.
it's political. And so, again, we are not consistent with what we do. Persons only give opposition when things are not right. They stand up, they speak out. And so, when the teachers speak out about the issues that are not right, how can we deem that as being political? I mean, you tell me what is political in a teacher asking for his or her working environment to be better. Tell me where is the politics in that? You tell me if a teacher is asking for a proper chair or an increase in salary, where is the politics in that? But again, when it suits us, it's fine. When it doesn't suit us, we label as all kinds of labels. I think this, I really want to feel though that the issue that they're throwing into the pot about correct and being and political is not really the politics, you know. It's correct. They're scared of correct. That's the issue here because they understand that with correct and McDonald being there, you can't pass anything and anything in front of me. I question every single thing that is happening. So the political politics that is being thrown out there is just a way of distracting and trying to, you know, use another disguise to ensure that they have their way. But I can say to them, I have been legally elected by our teachers, and I will continue to serve the teachers as long as I remain General Secretary.
We are a stalemate, folks. We don't conciliation talk. We had a there to the General Secretary of the Ghana Teachers Union, and as well before that, we listened to the President of the Ghana Teachers Union, Dr. Mark Light and Coretta McDonald, respectively. Yeah, we know how you folks are fast and you want to get the valid and credible information. That being said, folks, that being said, look, some of the other things we're following. And that horrific crash as we run teachers, because we know we lost a couple of teachers today as well in that crash at Long Creek on the Linden Sioux Dyke Highway. But before we get to that, folks, before we get to that, there was this other accident today as well. And this was on the Betsy Ground. Apologies, folks. Yeah. Let's go here, but yeah. So we're following this horrific crash, folks, at Long Creek on the Linden Sioux Dyke Highway, of which the cause of that crash is yet unknown. Those were the thoughts I was searching for. The cause of that crash is yet unknown, but we learned that we lost at least 5 persons in this horrific crash. 4 of the names we know now: Rochelle Leacock, Edo Leacock, Urani Hall, and also Dwaylen Farrell. The 5th person that we lost that name, we don't have a report on that name as yet. Or do we know the cause of that accident? I heard a lot of folks saying that the driver of the car, driver of the pickup may have fell asleep. We don't know that with any degree of certainty or certainty. We don't know that, but we know 5 persons lost their lives tragically in this horrific smash up the Linden Sioux Dyke Highway in the area of Long Creek. And 2 of them teachers. 2 of them were teachers. And as we had the attention of the President of the Ghana Teachers Union and we had the attention of the General Secretary of the Ghana Teachers Union, we asked them for their thoughts on their colleague. Take a listen.
Very sad indeed. And so I want to offer on behalf of my family and the executives and members of the GTU and all members of the teaching fraternity, condolences to the families. It's a sad day for the educators of this country. From my understanding, teacher was heading to work, having traversed the Georgetown area. And one wonders whether the teacher was trying to make some additional funds to keep himself going and his family. But that's the reality, Shara, that our teachers are in. The hustle to make ends meet. And this teacher has contributed significantly to the education sector, in particular, the young man that died in the accident. And I learned there are two other persons that died or part of the teaching fraternity. We're still to ascertain the names and everything, but it goes to show that um, educators in this country are striving for a better life, and sometimes they end up doing, difficult jobs in addition to the teaching. So it's a great loss to the fraternity, and I believe that all educators must stop and recognize that our contribution is significant, and that you know as we go about our business, we have to be very watchful, very careful, and be cognizant of what is happening on our roads. The Linden Highway is always a very dangerous highway, and we want to appeal to all road users to use the road carefully. A lot of our teachers are driving. We want to appeal to them to take care of themselves. Watch for the person who's not looking out for you, so that you can be able to get back home safely daily.
It is sad. It is very unfortunate that we've lost two outstanding teachers, one from Pokwani, one from Linden. They're both senior teachers. And this is saying to us that life is very fleeting, and we have no hold on life. There's no certainty with life, and that in itself, I'm hoping that that would send a message to the folks at the Ministry of Education that many of our teachers are dying and they cannot receive their benefits today. A wife is without a husband. Children are without their fathers because his life was just snuffed out like that in an accident. I want to urge all of us, those of us who are driving the roads, that we do so with caution. That teacher there, it is just unfortunate and sad that in the midst of us coming to the Ministry of Labor to have our little talk about how we will move forward in terms of the conciliation process, that we have lost two of our members. Two members who were there in this struggle with us. Two members who, I think one crazy person said they were coming to protest. That was not the idea. That was not the reason for them coming to Georgetown. As a matter of fact, they were coming to Georgetown on their own business because the teacher, the male teacher, he has his wife and his children living in Georgetown. But it is saying to us that teachers have got to be doing so many things to make ends meet. And it can sometimes result in them losing their lives. Again, our condolences to the families of the bereaved, especially those two teachers. I know Mrs. also, her brother succumbed in that accident as well. And to the other person, to her family, we want to extend our sincere condolences. Our prayers and thoughts are with them at this time, and I'm hoping that the ministry is going to do all that is necessary at this time to at least be able to bring some sort of comfort to the teachers, the bereaved family members of those teachers. At the GTU end, of course, we always do what we have to do. But I want to say, a life or lives have been lost. And regardless of what we do, we cannot bring them back to life. But it would have been a good thing if those teachers were able to receive their benefits just before. We didn't know that this would have happened. But if they had received their benefits, they would have been smiling at this time that they were able to accomplish a feat that they set out to. Again, it's unfortunate and it's sad that we have to be visiting families again to console them on this tragic loss.
Yep, that was Coretta McDonald. And before that, we had sentiments being expressed by the President of Ghana Teachers Union, Mark Light, and again, General Secretary Coretta McDonald there, giving their condolences to the two teachers that were lost today in this smash up at Long Creek on the Linden Suicide Highway, in which we lost five Guyanese. We know the name was four of them. Russia Leacock, Errol Leacock, Urani Hall, and Dwaylen Farrell. And our thoughts and prayers go out to their families, folks. Every day, carnage on our roads and our waterways like you cannot believe. And then, of course, we're following this other accident today as well at Betsy Ground, they tell us, my God. What a day it was. What a day it was. A construction worker died after crashing into a donkey, they said. This is Kumar Ataram. Kumar Ataram, Betsy Ground there in East Kanchi Babis, lost his life. He's known also as Sean. His mother said that he had just left a tire shop in Kanchi when the accident occurred. He was heading home, apparently, on his motorcycle when he crashed into a donkey that reportedly ran across the road, died on the spot. Kumar Amatram died on the spot. Something in this country, one blood. Wicked, 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 wicked forces, like you cannot believe. So 6 died in one day in accidents alone. Can you understand that? In just accidents alone. Accidents alone. Should have had this closer with the story with our teachers. So you know, Royce Ford was one of the lawyers in the GTU case, and he said the PPP government accused the government of gross injustice for not negotiating with our teachers after that historic judgment, or they want to appeal. Why the government fighting down Guyanese to give Guyanese a slice of the pie, a piece of the cake, a seat at the table? Why this wicked government fighting down Guyanese? I can say ipso facto. It's because the wicked. That's why they're doing it. Royce said they should have been complying. This is gross injustice. Gross injustice. Promises, promises. Look story here now. Look story. Nicole, try with them. Ontario, the Honorable Her Excellency. She try with them. They're telling us that the Ghana police force is seeking to fill gaps in its response to crime. It is, it is looking to fill gaps. Folks, you want things to laugh about? Look at the Ghana teachers. Look at the Ghana police force. You want things to laugh about? The Ghana police force for you. They signed a memorandum today with the New York Police Department to enhance crime response capacity. That's what they're trying to improve. The crime response capacity. And it's badly needed. It is badly needed. Days after, young woman made some damning allegations against the former minister of local government. And a man who is in the upper echelons, the hierarchy of the PPP. Nothing has been done. Nothing has been done. The Granite Press Association has been police force for its tardiness. No, it's like the lady didn't even make a statement. She didn't even make allegations. Absolutely nothing has been done. The Ghana police force says they're going to contact all persons involved. They're going to contact all persons involved. Folks, a man only assume I call him a jagabat and a trench crapo. And I had a number of policemen at my home. The man didn't even hear it himself. He said people called him and told him that I call him a jagabat, a trench crapo. I think I may have had some other things in there. Tadpole, cricketer. May have called him a Philistine and a Pharisee. A bow-legged creature. That's what they alleged. I had a number of policemen at my door. Nobody accused me of rape. Police force said they can contact the parties. So we can get around to it. We're going to get around to it. You think it's one thing wrong in this country? Eventually, maybe. And that's what it said. We'll get to it when we get to it. Well, the Ghana Press Association called them out today. Why are they being so silent? They said they're going to eventually, they're going to get to it. Yeah. All 3,500 of you watching us. We're so grateful to have had your company this evening. The closer. Show us anything that's working under them boys. Show us anything. The power ship supposed to be given 35 megawatts, megavolts, mega something. 35 mega. It only given 18. They didn't say it coming to give 18. They said coming to give 35. It only given 18. One fellow walking normal to flip the switch to turn on the power. Something that she overboard. Y'all think this country dog. Something just heights you up and fling you overboard. I want Dutchman ship now. He going normal to flip the switch. Like it's too much power. Fling he overboard. And the ship that was supposed to give it 35, only given 18. That sound like the PPP. Michelle Lowe said the ship half up. The ship half up. Sharon Mercurius. Thanks for the thing, Sharon. Saw Sharon today. Thanks for the thing. The man just going to do his normal work. He say he don't know Andrew Griffith, Leon Blair, Jamal, Linda, Rhonda. When something just dashy, like nothing. So the power ship was supposed to give 35. It only given 18. Right? The gas to show project was supposed to be well on the way. It delayed. That's all. The conversation road trip project supposed to be finished by now. It ain't done yet. Barmere Primary School. Them children supposed to be for farmers. The length of time this school is being constructed. The first farm we're going to finish yet. You think it's one thing wrong in this country? Guy Suko is supposed to be doing sugar now. Billions poured in at some exponential quantities. Nothing. You think it's one thing wrong with this country? We showed you the wharf there in region what? What region was that? Region 1. Port Kaituma. The wharf about to float away. Roads, concrete road just built, deteriorating. You don't understand? Or you're still like us. You overstand. The boat and boat in. Take a look, take a listen. Power ship.
The government has said that the power ship is working. However, its production is below the stated capacity expected. The ship is said to be generating 18 megawatts at this time. There were reported startup problems, but the official sources said nothing. On Friday, leader of the People's National Congress Reform, Aubrey Norton, said that the government has a posture of taking action, then taking no action.
The PPP, and they came to government, brought back a man who had failed at GP. They now bring a family of the Attorney General. it is evident that they're not focusing on the qualification and competence that are needed to govern GPL. They are into their political cronyism. And whatever Irfan Ali says is just hot air. The PPP cannot work with professionals.
He said that this is because they are corrupt. He said that he expects the government to make pronouncements but do nothing.
Just like Jack, you know, we will investigate the killings, the disturbances, call it what you want, and then he forgets it. If you go back through the history of Barra Jack, you know that he just makes pronouncements, and when it comes to serious policy decisions, you get none. So it is normal for Irfan to do what. The fact that they had to perform all these antics at the Congress to distract people from the real substance, and the Congress didn't discuss the issues of national importance, is indicative of their mindset and how they approach things.
Economist Elson Lewis said that not much has changed. He said that of interest is Jagios commented the Guyana Power and Light would now be able to service its generators.
And it's as if it's news to him that you have to service generators in order for them to function properly. The management of GPL by the government really is something that has concerned us, and we've been talking about getting additional capacity because we know that these generators have been running full stretch, and that is you can't maintain generators if they're running all the time.
Lewis said that the nation should now beware of the government raising electricity bills to pay for additional capacity.
And it's as if it's news to him that you have to service generators in order for them to function properly. The management of GPL by the government really is something that has concerned us, and we've been talking about getting additional capacity because we know that these generators have been running full stretch, and that is you can't maintain generators if they're running all the time. The government has now announced that they're looking for additional capacity, so they've listened finally to what we were saying, even though this is so late and Guyanese have had to suffer through so much blackout. But we must also express concern because we know that the next thing they want to come with is to raise people's electricity bills to pay for this additional capacity. We have gotten them to commit that they're not going to do that, but we must remain, citizens must remain vigilant, because that would easily be something that they'll try to slip past the average Guyanese.
Yep. That was the truth. That being said, good folks. That being said, that's your time. That's our program's been. It's been great trying to hold myself together to be here with you folks. Y'all know y'all buying 100%, but I'm getting there. Thanks for being on with us this evening, good folks. From all across the world, Charles Nelson, Debbie, Jacqueline, Charlene, Donna, Rami, Renella, my nose running, you would not believe. Bigley, Joylyn, Mark, and Naomi. Good to see you folks there. Naomi say you look good, Sharon. Yeah, I hope I have something to write home about. I hope I the next thing after sliced bread. The next best thing. Very shy. You see some wires holding me together here now. Folks, thanks for joining us. Darlie and Maxine, Rosette and Claudine. Good to have all of you folks on the live tonight. Nigel and Rosetta, Wilma Grant, Sandra, Auntie Sandra Hanover. Good to have all of you folks here with us, folks. Marlon Thomas, that's our time, good folks, and that's our program. Sonia Massey Cobb, I see you there, Sonia. Happy belated Mother's Day to all of you special women. You all know how much we love and appreciate y'all. How to respect you all too, and love you all and appreciate y'all. You all know that. And a big deal. Mother's Day to all of you special folks. Yeah, you know yourselves. That's our time, folks. And that's our program. And that was the last bell. I almost hit the damn mic. That was the last bell. Brian Daniels, DJ, Jolly, Wilma Grant, Maxine, Joan, Erica, Renella, Raquel, Onessa Ward, Suan. Have a great evening, folks. Have a great ening. Share more curious. Thanks for the ting.